All right, good morning and welcome to script practice. Let me know if you would like to move to be one of the prospect or the agent.
Prospect.
Well, you want to be the prospect?
Yeah.
All right. I would like for Cindy to be the agent if she can get on. Usually she's on time. Have you done script practice before, Tawana?
No, I've been just conjuring up the the nerve to do it, and today the opportunity existed in my schedule, and I said I'm going to tackle it.
Awesome.
But
Yeah.
I know that I do need to incorporate it more, and place the the practices into action.
Right. And I am so glad that you are here today. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Dan, if you want to listen in, I know that you're just visiting while we wait for Cindy. So I will give you a call, Tawana, and you can say you're an expired listing.
Okay.
Oh, excellent. Cindy is here. Welcome, Cindy.
Hi, sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I am here.
Excellent. So we have a couple other people today, Tawana and Dan, and we are going to do our favorite expired listings. So Cindy, do you want to be the agent?
Okay, I can be the agent.
Okay, you want to call Tawana? And
yeah.
She's going to be an expired listing.
Okay. All right. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello. How can I help you?
Hi, my name's Cindy, and I'm with Berkshire Hathaway. Thank you for taking my call. I noticed that your house was once on the market, and I was wondering, any thoughts about putting it back on?
Yeah, I've been considering it. However, there were certain practices that I saw put into place that I wasn't as favorable about. So I've been like having this conversation with myself in my head about it.
Okay. So I understand you're kind of on the fence here. So, well, what would you think about listening to what I have to say, and we could take it from there?
Oh, absolutely. I'm all ears.
Okay. So, what was your original motivation for wanting to sell your house?
Well, of course, the hot market that we're in. And
Okay.
I've been here for about 5 years. So I'm past that 2 years where I have to, pay capital gains. And then also I'm considering moving out of the area. So, I entertained the idea of going ahead and selling it now in order to, tweak my motivation more about moving out of the area.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing you say is the original idea was because the market's doing so well, you've been there for 5 years, and you're thinking about moving out of the area. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, you nailed it.
Okay. So, what area are you thinking about moving to?
I'm here in Florida, and I've been looking at a few jobs in Louisiana, along the coast, so Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Louisiana area.
Oh, okay. So, by selling your house and moving to the Gulf Coast area, what will that do for you?
So I'm not favorable of the idea of being a landlord from afar. So that's why I just want to sell it. Everyone has this great idea about keeping it and renting it because the rents are just as high as the market is right now. However, I don't have anyone to depend on. if I can't just get over there. So, I figured out I would just sell it, get an apartment for a year. And while I'm, living in the apartment, scoping out the area, deciding where I want to live.
Okay.
The job market is hot also where I want to go. So it's, all of the stars are lining up, but something happened when it was first, when it was originally on the market. And it's very debilitating to me because I'm not the listing agent.
Right. I understand. So you've been there 5 years, thinking about moving out of Florida. You're looking at going more towards the Gulf, Mississippi, areas like that. And the job market is really hot. So let me ask you this. Are you the only one that makes the financial decisions?
Yes.
Okay. So are you married or no?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Okay. All right. And do you have children?
I do, but my daughter, she decided to she's trying to finish out her high school year in Florida. So we're pretty much working that out.
Okay. So is she currently a senior then?
She will be a senior next year.
Okay. Excellent. So let me ask you this. As far as real estate agents go, what are you looking for in an agent?
Well, just someone that's honest, understanding that it's sales is a part of the I'm trying to sell my home, so I get that.
Mhm.
But just someone that's honest, someone that I trust, someone that I can create a relationship with, because I just want to be in the know of what's going on. I don't like surprises at all.
Okay,
I mean,
that's great.
I'm pretty simple.
All right. So the next question I have to ask you is, would you be open to sitting down with me? I will bring a complimentary market analysis to show you what your house is worth. Would that be something you'd be interested
Yeah,
in?
that sounds great. Because the way I feel about it, time is ticking and it's not waiting on me.
True. I understand that. So what would work better for you? Tuesday at 4 o'clock or Thursday at 5 o'clock?
Let's do Thursday at 5 o'clock.
Okay. And would you prefer the meeting to be at your home, my office? What are you more comfortable with?
My home is perfect.
Okay, perfect. All right. And when you had your house on the market before, did you have any issues with the agent as far as her or him, I'm sorry, not being able to return phone calls or anything like that?
No, I didn't have those issues. Pretty much it just, there is a contract for 45 days, something around there, and it expired.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you then Thursday at 5 o'clock. Like I said, I will bring the complimentary market analysis and we can meet and see if we're going to be a good fit and take it from there. How does that sound?
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for giving me a call.
Oh, you're very welcome. And thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Good job. Good job, you guys. Okay, let's do some reflections. Towania, what did you feel like when she was asking you some questions, when she was going through that conversation?
The questions were great. She was asking the correct open-ended questions just so that I can, elaborate more on my experience.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it was My scenario was easy because that wasn't an actual scenario that something that actually happened to me a few years ago before I decided to move on the Gulf Coast.
Right. And I want to say thank you for being easy and not putting up too much objections. I know you said you hadn't done any script practice before. And generally, right, like in script practice, we try to make it not the most difficult conversation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've done so many role plays and and the thing was that for me, it was more important for me to hear the flow of the conversation because this is new and important to me also. So I was like, why would I give her a difficult time?
Well, good. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I know that, this is real. I mean, because, most listings do expire that quick. And I know that, most homeowners, they're like, no, I'm not going with you again. I'm waiting for the next best thing to come along. So I know that there's opportunity in it.
Right. And Cindy, how did you feel?
I feel like it went smooth, but I definitely missed a step. The qualifying, I totally skipped over that. And then when I thought about it, I didn't know how to get back to that question. So I just kind of went with it. But that's
okay.
All. I thought it went pretty smooth. She was nice and easy, which I appreciate. Thank you. And yeah, what did you think?
Awesome. Well, I applaud you both for doing the role play because that is so important. That is the stuff that's going to make you better. And this type of role play is it's a safe situation to practice things and try things out. So I think, Cindy, of the biggest elements that she was handing you all of this energy. She was super open to being, to giving you information. She gave you this positive energy. What I would have liked is to hear that positive energy reflected back in your voice. She was very bubbly, very talkative. She laughed a couple times, and you stayed very lower energy, and I would have liked to see you come up and match that energy that she was giving. Does that make sense?
That makes absolute sense.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. Cindy, I thought you did a wonderful job reiterating her needs and the things that you said. She said, I need, I want to thinking about a job here. I want to move here. I've been owning my house for this long. And you went back and you said, so what I'm hearing you saying is boom, boom, boom. And you were able to say it back to her. And she said, wow, yes, that's exactly what I said, which makes her feel heard. So excellent job on that. You asked a lot of great questions. I know that you and I have talked a little bit about the flow of the conversation, and I know you've got the flow of the conversation script or flow chart in front of you. Not flow chart, like categories of questions. So if you stick to that and just have even just a little guide in front of you, then that will help you out a lot. Give me just a second. I'm going to share my screen. And this is one thing I thought about putting on there so you had something to follow along with, right? There were several times when she was saying, yes, I'd like to meet. And in my mind, I'm thinking, ask for the appointment, ask for the appointment. And you let it go on to the next questions. And sometimes what happens in conversations is that when somebody is ready to set the appointment, is ready to meet with you, you keep talking. And the more questions you ask, the more you either delay the closing or push it further away so it's harder to get when you do actually ask for the appointment. So and I thought you did a great job with, you said market analysis, yay, not CMA. Good job on that one.
Yeah, I just, I was going with my little flow chart here, and you're right, I did, but I just for some reason felt like I had to keep going through the script.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you take a car trip. So you're over in Ohio. So like if you were going to drive to Ohio to Florida and you said, okay, here's the route we're going to take. However, after about 2 or 3 hours, we need to stop and take a bathroom break. And then that's when you pull the car over and you ask for the appointment, or you stop and you do the close. So even though you've got a long route ahead of you, you can still stop and pull over and get the appointment. So don't feel like you have to be married to the script. And I know you know that, it's just reminders. And also when you're asking for a listing appointment, or when it is going to be to sell their house, it has to be at their house. Unless there's some crazy thing that's happening, you need to go and see their house so that you can figure out how to best help them.
I realized that like after I said that, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Right. Yeah. And, Cindy, I think you're saying a few things off of your, I don't want to say script. You're trying to sound more like yourself and rewording some of the questions, which is fine, but it sounds less conversational and more like you're reading when you aren't. You're changing it too much that it's taking it off topic. Does that make sense? There was a couple of questions you asked, like, are you married? Do you have kids?
So I shouldn't ask those?
I don't, they're not necessary. I mean, you can ask some, because then we kind of get into some touchy territory, and I don't want that. I mean, she was very welcoming to it, but I feel like it didn't have a context or a reason why you were asking. Even if you had said, if she had mentioned something about a husband or a kid and you went on and said, oh my gosh, are you married? Oh, okay, yeah, me too. Or I used to be, or whatever. If that was a connection point, that would be okay to, but it was sort of it was a question that was put out there and didn't have a real context or reason for, except for the next question.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Dan, did you have any other reflections on the conversation?
Cindy, you did a fantastic job, and I agree with Kat's suggestion of the reflecting back on when Towania had said something, you had perfectly reflected back to Towania what you had heard. And I thought you did a fantastic job of that. You did really a great job of carrying the conversation to move forward. I would, and for the reason of the marriage and the kids, I would leave that out for two reasons. In addition to it was a little bit broke the flow a little bit, but you also risk fair housing violations because family is a protected class. So I would just suggest to stay away from asking about family, because that could get you in a little bit of trouble. And then just overall, just carrying on the conversation and just jumping right into it was freaking awesome. So I would say you did a great job, Cindy. And Towania, you did a great job as a really pleasant seller. I want more sellers like you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate your feedback. And yeah, Towania did a great job.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
I
want to do one more very quick one. Now, Towania, let me ask you real quick. When you are calling sellers or doing expireds or physical, do you have a script or anything that you look at?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't started calling yet. I am, I know where to find the numbers. Word on the street from what I've heard and what I've read is to, just go through the like for sale by owner, Pensacola, not Pensacola, I'm sorry, I'm talking about my hometown, but for sale by owner, you know, Mississippi or whatever area I'm looking for, or I've heard of another, you know, portal to use. I haven't started it yet. I'm basically just kind of grooming myself for it right now, but I know it's good to use a script. I used to do cold calling when I was in banking. I feel like I don't need a script, but I am very open to receiving a script and any other added information as to how to find expired listings, you know, what's the best route to find information on for sale by owners.
Okay, so real quick with the, you know, with the thing that I look at is basically I have these 5 questions, this 5 categories. I have a few questions underneath each of them. So just with the opener, it's anything that you can do to engage them. Hey, I saw you had a house listed. Is that something, would it cause a problem if I were to get that sold for you? With motivation, ask them 3 questions about their motivation. Oh, what's making you want to move? Oh, wow. Well, what's that going to do for you to have a bigger house? Oh, well, that's an obvious. So what will that do with a bigger house? How will that impact your life? Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to qualify, you just say, oh, well, are you working with a realtor yet? No? Oh, okay, great. Well, what sort of qualities are you looking for? Oh, great. And then when we talk about the gold, it's what gold can you bring as a specific person to the conversation? Oh, well, it's so good that you were talking to me because that's where I specialize.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
anything that you
that.
can do to say, oh my gosh, that is such a good thing that you're working with me, or hey, I love this area that you're working with because I have this personal connection over there. And then even though close is said at the very bottom, really it can happen anywhere. It can
Right.
happen after the opener. Would selling that house for you cause a problem? No, I'd love to get it sold. Okay, great. I'll come meet you Tuesday at 2 or Wednesday at 4. You know, as soon as you can get them. So the close can really happen anywhere.
Okay.
So that if you jot those 3 or 5 questions down, that would be a good framework. And then all of your other questions will get slotted in there at some point. I mean,
Okay.
it's in some category, a lot of,
Right.
yeah. So that is a natural flow of a conversation.
I think I took good notes. The practice makes perfect.
So I'll toss this video up into my YouTube channel, and then you can refer back to it if you want to listen to it again.
Okay, perfect.
Any other thoughts, Dan? What did you think about that conversation flow, the 5 steps or the 5 categories?
I love the 5 categories, and I agree with the close. Close when you can.
Yes. Right. You can plan your road trip, but if you gotta get off and go to the bathroom at some point, do it anytime.
I would say that if you think of what is the intention of the conversation is to identify what's the motivation, and then secondly, to get the appointment. Yet getting the appointment is more important than anything else, because you can always get the motivation later.
Yes. Right on, Dan. Awesome. All right. Well, again, we do this on Mondays and Thursday mornings from 8:30 to 8:55, and there's right about a little bit 8:56 right now. Again, the link is the same every week. Save it if you want. Keep it in your text message, and I will see you guys on Monday.
Sounds great. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. All right. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you, ladies.